Dillon Danis getting caught up in another brawl isn't exactly breaking news, but what went down at UFC 322 still managed to shock everyone watching. The chaos that unfolded didn't just feel wild, it felt completely unreal. What started as some loud shouting and pushing quickly turned into an all-out mess that reminded fans of the infamous UFC 229 mayhem. Every time security got one group separated, another fight kicked off just a few feet away. It looked like trouble was popping up everywhere. Danis wasn't just arguing, he was throwing hands with several Dagestani fighters at once, including Abubakar Nurmagomedov and even John Anik, who jumped in when things got heated. Within seconds, the crowd area transformed into a blur of people yelling and swinging, and somehow, through all of it, Danis ended up standing there holding his shoes, completely barefoot, like he'd just survived a bar fight gone wrong. It didn't take long to realize this wasn't a random scuffle. It was another chapter in the long-standing rivalry between Conor McGregor's crew and Khabib Nurmagomedov's team. That tension never really went away, it just waits for the right moment to explode again. Whenever these two camps cross paths, something always goes down. No matter how many years pass, that bad blood still burns hot, and UFC 322 was the latest reminder of just how deep it runs. When things finally calmed down and everyone was either escorted out or back in their seats, the drama shifted backstage. During the post-fight press conference, Dana White didn't shy away from addressing it. He explained that before the main card began, he was told Danis was in the arena but not sitting in the seat assigned to him. Security asked if they should remove him, but since he had a valid ticket, White decided to just let him stay under supervision. What he didn't account for was how many Dagestani fighters and friends were sitting close by, especially after Islam Makhachev's big main event. Dana said that the second he heard the noise, he knew exactly what had happened. All the wrong people were seated too close together. By the time security pulled Danis out and settled things, UFC staff asked if charges should be pressed. Dana refused, saying that while emotions got out of hand, this is the fight business. Tensions flare. Still, he confirmed that Danis won't be allowed back at future UFC events.
Brawl broke out with Dillon Danis and the member of Khabib's team and stuff. Can you just tell us how disappointed you were to see that and any insight into the fallout?
I blame myself for that, actually. They came back and told me right before I walked out for the main card that Dillon Danis was here and he was moving around sitting in fighter seats and not sitting in his own seat that he had a ticket. And they said, do you want us to throw him out of here? And I said, he has a ticket? And I said, yeah. And, you know, they told me, they said, Masvidal said he's going to fuck him up on sight. And I said, well, where's Masvidal sitting? He said, well, he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal. I said, well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing and keep an eye on him. It never even crossed my mind, as stupid as this could be, that the entire Muslim Brotherhood was here tonight in the first 5 rows for Islam. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side and I go, fuck, I know exactly what that is. I knew it. And yeah, you will never see Dillon Danis at a UFC fight ever again.
While all that was happening in the crowd, the fights inside the octagon kept delivering intense moments. After the main event, Ilia Topuria sparked heated debate. While many praised Islam Makhachev's dominant performance, Topuria wasn't impressed. He criticized Jack Della Maddalena for looking completely unprepared against a strong wrestler like Islam, saying Jack needs an entire camp focused just on grappling. But he didn't stop there. He also took aim at Makhachev, claiming that despite his skill, he lacks a natural emotional spark that can't be taught in training.
Topuria, I don't know if you saw his tweet, he said you're like the most boring fighter in the UFC or something like that. I know you said to ask ask you about him after the fight at media day. Can you give us your full thoughts on a fight with him now?
No injury, nothing. I don't feel any pains. I'm ready. Who is gonna be next? Let's do this, and I will make it easy. And today I show you, Jake's one of the best in this game. You know, one of the hardest opponent. That's why I prepare so hard to make this easy. And this is our plan. And I did exactly. He defends. I try to do some chokes, try to make Kimura, but he defends very well. But I make this easy because I training so hard.
Now, Islam Makhachev's future feels uncertain but exciting. Both he and Topuria vacated their original titles after moving up divisions, and both captured new belts at higher weights. Makhachev dominated Della Maddalena at welterweight, while Topuria grabbed the lightweight title by defeating Charles Oliveira after Islam moved up. With both now sitting at the top of different divisions, fans are already buzzing about the possibility of them meeting again down the line. But Topuria wasn't the only one talking. Shavkat Rakhmonov, still undefeated and ranked number 3 at welterweight, congratulated Islam on the win, but warned that the real challenge at 170 pounds is still waiting for him. During the same press conference, Dana White was also asked about the upcoming UFC at the White House event. He clarified that it wouldn't be a USA versus the world theme, even though it's planned for Independence Day. His goal is simply to put together the best fights possible. When asked if Makhachev might headline that card, Dana didn't rule it out. In fact, he hinted that depending on Islam's next move, he could start entering the conversation for the greatest of all time. And with names like Rakhmonov lining up, that kind of legacy might not be far away.
I'm getting the sense we're going to hear the words White House quite a lot from fighters over the next few months. Islam is already calling for that. Could Islam end up on the White House?
It's a possibility. We're talking about GOAT talk here, depending on what he does in his next couple of fights.
Does it have to be America versus the world themed and stuff like that? Would you be happy putting a non-American main event
That's
up?
not America versus the world. It's what's the best card we can...
The women's co-main event added another highlight to Valentina Shevchenko's incredible career. Her size advantage over Weili Zhang was obvious the moment they started grappling. Zhang landed some clean shots early, but Shevchenko dropped her, took control on the mat, and dominated the first round. That marked Valentina's 60th career takedown, a milestone that shows how long she's been competing at an elite level. The rest of the fight followed the same rhythm. Zhang kept fighting back, using her kicks and combinations to create distance, but Shevchenko's strength and control on the ground made it tough. Even when Valentina couldn't land heavy ground strikes, her constant pressure and positioning kept her ahead on the scorecards. By round 4, she looked more relaxed and started mixing up her striking again. Earlier in the night, the welterweight division saw another big moment when Michael Morales stopped Sean Brady in the first round. Morales came in ranked 8th, but proved he's ready for the top contenders. His sharp punches rocked Brady early, and he finished with relentless pressure for a TKO win. That victory boosted his record to 19-0 and got fans wondering how soon he'll get a title shot. He even called out Dana White directly afterward, asking for the chance to fight for the belt, and based on his performance, that opportunity might come sooner than expected. Then came the night's biggest shock. Carlos Prates knocked out Leon Edwards. Edwards started strong, showing clean technique and even taking Prates' back in the first round to threaten a submission. But in round 2, Prates started talking to him, getting in his head, and it worked. Edwards took the bait, became emotional, and got caught. Prates landed a massive punch that ended the fight instantly, following up with one last strike on the ground before the referee stepped in. Fans were stunned. Just minutes earlier, Edwards looked completely in control. By the end of UFC 322, fans got everything. Brawls, knockouts, emotional drama, and history-making moments. The fighters left with new rivalries, new motivation, and unfinished business that guarantees more fireworks in the future. It was one of those unforgettable nights that remind everyone why MMA will always keep you on the edge of your seat.